name's Eric. I'm making a game. That game is called the Godkiller. My hair is called the good hair that you want. I know, but only I can have it. Hey, so yesterday it was a strange session. I did a little bit of work, and no, actually, I did a lot of work. But I did a little bit of progress, and I won't go into the whole thing about what the distinction between work and progress is. No, progress is when you actually move forwards in a clear way towards getting the result that you want. Work is when you just expend energy. And then I have like this complicated set of rules for what's really progress or not, and I won't go into that. But the first part of the session, I fixed a bug, and I said that's legit progress, and I'll be satisfied with that. And that gives me license to spend the rest of the session with what corporate types call blue sky thinking, derisively. But really, it's just a design session where it's like I don't know the exact work I'll have to do for this, but I gotta think about it a little bit. And anyways, I don't think my little distinctions between work and progress are that interesting to too many people besides myself, so I'll stop talking about it. Anyways, so the bug fix, I mean, what's a demo about a bug fix? It's just, there was a thing that was like a little warning was down here in the console log about block bolts not working or running out of bolts, and then I made a refinement, and then it worked. It's very undemoable. And then I started playing with this idea that when you start the game, before any dialogue occurs, there should be some way for the player to turn on subtitles if they want to have them. This is a request or a demand frequently made by players. And I'm in a bit of a conflict with what I want to do with my game and what game players typically want. And then I'm free to make my game however I want, but I don't want to be callous or unkind to people with disabilities. And then there's just sort of the general expectations of players are that they're going to turn subtitles on, and they aim to do that by default. So if I want to gently suggest to them that maybe this game is best enjoyed without subtitles, I think there should be a mechanism to do that. And it feels like I need to communicate with the player a little bit about this, because if I don't say anything, but if I simply have the game default to no subtitles, the reaction among many players will just be, this is annoying. A bunch of dialogue just happened and there's no subtitles, and I had the audio turned off. I don't even know what they said. I guess now I got to restart the level. And so I've started off on a bad foot with the player to a game that is already fairly unique and has other things that are going to challenge them. And I don't mean challenge them in ways that they like. I mean challenge them in ways that they got to come around to. So if there's too much stuff they got to come around to, if it's too much of an uphill battle, they'll go on and do something else. They'll stop playing the game or whatever. So I want to give a good impression to these people who do not have the same opinion I do, that a game should play better without subtitles. And the compromise I came up with is that at the beginning, I'll have subtitles turned off, but there'll be some text over here that says subtitles. You come over and step on it, and a dialogue will pop up. That dialogue will say, This game has been designed to be enjoyed without subtitles, but we respect the preference and sometimes necessity of using them. And then 2 options: enable subtitles, leave disabled. You pick one of those 2 options right there. Whichever option they do, I will enable or disable it without even asking them to go to the settings screen. But then the preference will be saved, and we'll show some text that says, you may change this later in settings if you like. And that's it. Send them on their way. I've expressed my opinion about the best way for them to play the game. If they don't want to do it, that's fine. There are legit reasons not to have subtitles. There are legitimate reasons to have subtitles. And, sometimes you really do need them, and sometimes you really do prefer them. So, it's okay. It's okay. So this is my way of having my cake and eating it too. It is a variation of a technique that I saw from a different game, at least secondhand in some videos and on an article. What was it called? Let me see if I can find it. Nope, I can't find it. Yeah, guys. Some game where they had an opening scene and there's a woman who is sitting there on a bench and she hasn't said anything yet, and then a little button comes up, subtle. It just says subtitles and it's got an arrow pointing up. You can click on it. You can decide right there if you want subtitles on or off. So I'm doing something similar. I'm going to start by making a real version of this thing called floor text, which is text that just appears on a floor square, and you can walk to it and you can touch it, and that'll activate it, and that'll go to the level controller script, and the level controller script can then decide what happens when you step in the text. I'll make it as a general game element. So I won't just make one that says like subtitles, floor text. I'll make it more general purpose, and there's other things I can do with it. So for example, I don't have dialogue trees in this game because I don't like how it takes you out of the game. But occasionally, or maybe a lot, if it works well, there could be conversations you have that are interactive, and you're walking along, and as the point in the conversation is reached, a little floor tile pops up on the ground for you saying yes or no or something along those lines. So you can fork the conversation without stepping out of the game to do it. When I say step out of the game, I mean like you don't go to like a dialogue tree type thing. You don't get locked into a conversation session with a character. You just keep playing the game, but if you want to, you could step on something that moves the dialogue in different directions and offers a choice. One of the best versions of this that I've seen was in a game. Oh God, what was that called? I'm like so bad. I keep remembering things, but not enough to tie to it. It's an adventure game. Oxenfree. Okay, Oxenfree dialogue system. It was quite good. It was really the best dialogue system I've ever seen in a game. Come on. That's not like I asked for a lot. Just load okay. Are you going to rock, paper, shotgun? I guess doesn't work anymore. This is just Reddit. Okay. Google Images. Yeah, let's do that. Oxenfree dialogue. Yeah. Okay. So this was a very nice dialogue system. with no subtitles, at least not by default. I didn't explore the options. But the character would say something. The dialogue was very clear. Like, I never had any problem hearing the dialogue. This is important to me because, like, one of the arguments about you have to have subtitles is because it's hard to pick up the dialogue without them. I feel that's actually a failing of the game production when that happens. I think it's entirely possible to set things up so that you just don't need the subtitles to get it, assuming you don't have a hearing disability. Okay, so then, like, this guy, he would say something. He would say something like, how are things with your family? Something like that. And then your character would be able to say, not one of these three things. This little phrase here tells you the gist of what she's going to say. Okay, it's not a subtitle. It's like, this is the gist. She could respond by asking, are you okay now? But if you choose that thing, and you only have to press your button real quick, and the button that you press does not affect the other game actions you're taking in the game, then her dialogue might be, I meant to ask you, because you said you were feeling sick earlier, oh, how do you feel now? You know, it won't be exactly verbatim the same thing that's on here. This is just the gist. So whatever you say, it's your choice, but the specific words that come out aren't going to be broadcast to you. So it's not boring for you to click on "It's Getting Worse" and then to hear this character speak and have her dialogue come out. It's not going to be redundant. Thimbleweed Park, same thing. They'll have like a shortened version of the dialogue that you choose, and then it just comes out in a longer, more humorous form with little jokes in it, you know, things like that. So stuff like this I like a lot. The kind of dialogue I really dislike, Fallout 4 dialogue. This kind of thing. Because it doesn't add anything. But well, I should say, I guess I don't really have a big beef with this, but I feel like they wasted so much money on all the voiceover. Didn't seem to contribute anything. I watch anybody play this game, they're skipping past the voiceovers all the time. As soon as you offer the text up and it just like broadcasts what all the dialogue is going to be, as soon as you show subtitles that list out the whole line that the person's going to say, it's just, there's no, like, you might as well just skip the voiceover. It's also drawing your full attention to this dialogue system, and that's why it's like a session. You know, you can't do other things while you're talking to somebody else. And I feel like you basically made a mini game in the middle of a normal game when you have this kind of dialogue system. If that's what you're going to do, it better be good. It better be good. It better be worth interrupting the player's main game. So in the case of Thimbleweed Park, it is good, because it gives you like jokes and stuff. So it's a pretty good mini game. Yeah. All right. So in this session, like I said, gonna make a better version of this floor text thing. This is one I just threw together real quick just to test out the idea. So one thing I noticed is that even though it's legible, it's quite small. I think I want the floor text to be able to span multiple squares. And if you step on any of the squares in it, then that will count as selecting it. So let me plan this out. I still got a whole bunch of undecided stuff on subtitles. I'm gonna just put it below the fold for now. There. Let's see what. Let's call it subtitles design. This seems right. This is no longer applicable. Let's delete that. Okay, back up to the top here. For floor text. Might not be the best name, but that's my working name for it right now. As being overly specific. Signals the level controller, which can do different things. Trying to think, do I want some default behavior around that, or should I have the level controller decide when the text is going to gleam? I think level controller, because I'm picturing, a lot of questions that would come up like, when do you want it to gleam? Like when the player is near it for the first time, when they walk into a room, right after a character speaks and is prompting them, when they haven't noticed it or walked towards it for a while. All these things could be situational. So therefore it makes me think, let's have the level controller say when the text is going to gleam. Not built-in. Automatic. Visual response, visual, maybe audio too. Localization is that's an interesting challenge too. Let's see, it supports localization with fixed square count. Text size must shrink to fit longer words. Okay, that's a lot of requirements. There's a lot to this thing. Okay. Continuous time updates are possible. Okay, so this means that there can be some events that occur in the level controller, like for example, some speech completing, and the appearance of the text could be timed to that, as opposed to stepping time in the game, which are the things that happen when the player issues a command. So each time the player issues a command, those make updates in stepping time. There's like two kinds of time. There's continuous time and there's stepping time. And some game elements are tied to stepping time and others are tied to continuous time. The ones that really matter as far as the result of commands that the player issues all happen in stepping time. The ones that are story related or presentational are candidates to be in continuous time. And this one should live in continuous time. Okay. Okay. How's my event system? Subscribe. On event, okay. These are reactant events. I don't think I can reuse reactant events. Maybe I could. If I do that, I need the level controller to be able to receive reactant events. Okay, react util send event. Okay. So that react util it's really just made to send events to reactants. But in theory, like the board could have a level controller associated with it or something. It doesn't though. Okay, I think let's create a new kind of event. Damn, I hate how I have to think my eventing system through at the same time for this. There's already enough to think about here. Let's just split that off into a separate design. Yeah, I might hack together something for the level controller to start. Just to avoid pulling a sweater thread, I might do it in a junky way. There's part of me that says, I've got events in a sort of a pub sub system for reactants. Those get passed around. Why wouldn't I also use the same set of events or for getting messages to the level controller? But that will drag me down off into another design path, and I'll be spending like the next 3 hours just on design. So that's a good thing maybe to tackle on the weekend. You know, I've got a whole bunch of time in front of me. Touch will send event to level controller. Hack and ugly pipe together for now. Boated. Boated Boa Boat 847. What's going on? I'm pretty decent. Arguing with people that aren't in front of me in my head about what subtitles should be like in the game. It's going good. It's going real nice. Got all kinds of levels done. Getting into the next big tasks, which are getting the dialogue system and the subtitles and the character stuff in order. It's one of the few large remaining tasks. It might go about like that, yeah. I really would like to get the game out in 2021. I really would. If you look at what I've got left to do, there's just like a lot of story content type stuff. Here, I'll put up my status screen real quick. The engine is pretty close to done. The levels, you can play them all the way through. The story is seriously missing. There's some stuff with getting media in. Some of this work in the content section I'll contract out. Other stuff I'll do myself. I think it's going to be good. I think it is. I mean, the playtesters like it. They played about 20 hours of it and they didn't get bored. And they're kind of maybe going through withdrawal a little bit because I stopped sending new levels to them. It's getting close to 2 years. So a little under 2 years. Alright, so another thing is, do I want... Let me think. In fact, let's see if I'll just take a look at my own history since I always forget. And there's a record of it. That's a fan site. About history of Drod. Okay. Okay, so here I was just learning how to like make games in C and C++. Looks like it took me 2 years. 2 years to get the first version of Drod out, and then we did a whole bunch of sequels. I think the average time to get a game out for me has been maybe 2 years. Something like that. But yeah. Been doing this shit for a while. I like making games. Hasn't paid the bills for me, but I always like making them. Alright, floor text. So let's see. Port animal, I have multiple floor text pieces. And okay, then we want, let's do one more floor text. not for discovery, but for actively manipulating the floor text. Let's say we want one for yeah, I don't mind. I'm just guessing though. I can't remember too well exact numbers, but it's going to be some kind of 5-figure amount. So somewhere between, I'm not being vague to hide it away or anything, but for me, I think it's somewhere between $20,000 and $50,000. I made off all of the drawed games over a few decades. So if you're looking at purely as a return on investment, like all the time spent on it, no, it's bad use of time. Go get a job at McDonald's, you'll do better. If you're looking at like all I got out of it, great use of time. Great use of time. It's always a victory to put something of yourself into the world that expresses who you are. I met a lot of cool people along the way too, so yeah, it's good stuff. Vortex, let's see, we want to be able to hide, show, yeah. I'm always getting little things related to draw that kind of make me feel good. I don't actually have to do anything to get them. They just sort of pop up. All right, good luck on your math test. Okay. Let's see about make this easy here. I don't need horizontally and vertically. Let's just do horizontal. Why am I trying to make it super deluxe? I can add vertical later if I really need it. Okay, I'm discovering there's a lot here. So what I'm going to aim to do in this session, so I like to make progress in a session. I like to finish a task at the end of the session. I'm going to get floor text discovery working, which will control how the whole thing is laid out and looks on the screen. And then after that, if it seems I've got time to do a little more, I will. And right now, I gotta get rid of some coffee. Gotta get rid of it. I'll be right back. back to work. Back to work, back to work. Alright, floor text discovery. Let's make it. So if we say the heck, why don't I just start with this thing and use that as my starting point. And I'll drag it down here for now, and then just not yet. Okay, because I realized the first place this thing is going to be is actually on this exact room in this exact level. So I decided I'll keep it here. The changes I want to make, they should be visible within the editor, so I don't have to keep on hitting play and unplay. So there's no reason to go off to a test level. Okay, let's say uploader. Let's call this just text, but kind of annoys me that I would have an object that is called text, and then inside of it there'll be a property called text. How about message? Okay. Int square count. Okay. So a lot of people make changes in the scene on validate, and I found it to be a never-ending source of problems, subtle problems, inconsistent problems. So I only do this if if I want to make changes that occur to the object in response to updating the properties I don't use on validate directly, I set an apply variable, and the update method will actually perform the changes. Message. set message. Sometimes it's really unreasonable. The IDE is about allowing me to write the calling code first before I've written out the definition of the thing that's getting called. So the autocomplete will get all tripped up. Okay, string message text int. Here. Okay. Now that I've got it defined, I can now type in transform. Oh, maybe we need to put mono behavior up there too. Okay. Message text. Message square count. All right. So the easy thing first is let's get the transform for the offset. I might as well go 2 levels deep though. Let's get this going here. So let's go with the transform. We set this to parent. Okay, double check that I got that path right. At some point, I might like figure out what the writer setting is to stop it from saving every time I command tab away. Or, yeah. Because that is a lengthy compile when I'm not really ready to compile. Okay, offset is lowercase. TM Pro. I don't think I'm doing this right. Let's go find something else that does it already. Text Mesh Pro. That's what you want. Oh, can I do that? Oh, that's cool. Okay. And TMP text equals text. Man, that is a long build to just command tab back to Unity. That's terrible. Okay, so if I wanted this guy to have a different message count, stop. Okay. direct transform here. If I say 2, okay, that almost did what I thought it would. If I say 3, 1, okay, I don't know about this. What about scale 2? I guess what it's doing is kind of right. So I could set scale. I think I want it to go left to right. It's going to be easier to figure out. Don't know if I can do that easily. Is there something in here for that? What do the anchors do? I don't get that. Alright, so if I say 3, it's not bad. Auto size, let's do that. That looks horrible, of course. Seems kind of like a bad choice for auto sizing. Okay, minimum auto size 2. There we go. Or even 1. Okay. Okay. There's like a whole bunch of stuff here and I can't really read it. This is WD% line. Okay, and I'm trying to get some settings that help me figure out if I can reliably set some settings in here and see predictable results, then that will tell me what code I need to write to do the same thing programmatically. So I'm going to take out X and Y here to see what that does. I think that was probably a mistake. Okay. Problem with this is it's going out of bounds, but I could do that. I could do that. What is it updating up above? Let's see. Whoa, weird. That's very unnatural, the way it's responding to me. Okay. Something like that? I don't know what I changed just now. I didn't see any values update inside of here. Okay, so I could do something like 2. And it is taking up 2 squares, but it's centered. What happens if I say this is minus 8 point? Okay. Yeah, that's a little hard for me to make sense of these numbers and how they end up corresponding to squares. If I set these, it doesn't seem to do anything. Anchors. Clearly, I'm ignorant. What's the pivot do? It just sets the pivot. Got it. So the pivot's right there in the middle. Although, what if it's at 0? What if it's at 0? And I say, let's do 0. No. I mean, is it still gonna do? Ah, okay, now we're getting somewhere. Okay, so I am pretty sure I want it to be, like that. This starts to make sense up here with this positioning. Let's do scale 2, see if it goes out over here. Close. Not perfectly accurate. If I do 3, it's going to go a little bit weirder. Let's do 0 again. Oops. 1. Okay. Round this to -1. Yeah, it's still kind of fakaka. Alright. It feels like I'm trying to get the width to be inside of this thing. Like maybe there's a width setting someplace, which I haven't seen yet. Well, I mean, there's this width, but it doesn't seem to correspond. Maybe I'm wrong. 2. Okay. Yeah, but it's like it's going past 2 meters. This is 2 point something. The width changing there has the same problem as changing the scale that it goes past. I don't know what the anchors do. Okay, I'm gonna read. So I feel very ignorant. maybe this anchoring is important. Let's try that. 0. Width changed to W delta when I did this anchor out to something different. I just don't get it. Okay, so we put this back to 0.5, and then now I got width again. Is there some little trick where if I bring this in the right perfect amount, that it'll suddenly start lining up with squares? No. No. Yeah, it's irritating. I don't have that many knobs to twiddle. That's the thing. This might be useful. Well, let's try it. Oh, also I get this transform as well. Like there might be some value. Let's just try this, just as an easy thing to try first. Local scale. Make this local scale. Back here, do your big long thing. That's terrible. I gotta figure. I mean, that's just such a long build. Did that sneak up on me? Has it just been getting a little bit longer and a little bit longer each time? Do I need to just close Unity and open it up again to see if it gets short again? Because I don't remember it being recently that long. Feels like something changed and now it's slow. Alright, anyways. Add component. Floor. Well, it's not floor text, it's floor text discovery. Let's do another build. I don't think it's the compilation of the code. In fact, let's do build solution. Okay, here we go. See, it's even doing all the third-party ones, all the ASM-defs that I defined, all the manifests, and bam, it's done. It's quite fast. 7 seconds. I mean, it would be pissing off Jonathan Blow that it took that long, but that part is fast enough for me. It's this part inside of here that is like, you have no right. You have no right. And also, why is this not present? The floor step thing, it should have been present. Console. Floor text discovery. It built fine. It's got mono behavior. In one of the namespaces I expect. So in my mind, floor, god damn it, what the hell? What is wrong? I'm exiting, I'm coming back in. Just too many weird things going on. Let's save. Okay, what the fuck is... I guess I don't care about that. Anyways, Unity, you just are freaking me out. I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna come back, and I hope you're better when I come back. Also, Unity Hub is not up here for some reason. That's Adobe nonsense. It's here. I'm gonna quit. Quit Unity Hub. The whole Unity ecosystem I don't trust right now. Okay, this came back. Good. Okay, floor text. Let's try this again. Oh man, I don't need this offset thing either. That's kind of corny. Anyways, let's what the fuck? I don't get it. I do not get it. So, where is everything? Let's do a clean. Rebuild. Okay. Clean. Okay. I think there should be... Okay, here's Godkiller. There's all the other stuff. I do not get why floor text discovery is not present there. I just don't get that. This is in the right namespace. This is the right name. Ah, this old stupid thing. The name of the class must match the name of the file. By the way, writer could highlight that. That would be an awesome linting thing. Maybe it's a little tough for him because the name of the file is maybe not present to the linting code. Okay. Or there it is. I set this to 1. Set this to dog. Okay. If I say 2, fuck, it's not doing bad. 3, it's not doing bad. It's a little bit off. It looks like what I saw before, to be honest. So type tools. And is it just like really stretching out those letters? It might be. Yeah, it's stretching out the letters. So if I say take 3, feels like it hasn't adjusted the height very well. But you know what? I didn't say to also stretch the height. Okay, let's do an extra long pretend word to 3. Yeah, let's see. I need something a little bit better than this. The other thing I want to fix is let's just move the message up here, reparent, offset, we'll just delete it. It's not doing anything useful. Okay, then that means this will just be Well, that's looking pretty good. The Y value is a little bit screwy. Okay, so there's a max there. So if I set this to 100, 200, seems like it doesn't want to go up that high. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know why it just stopped short of that. But that would be alright though, to be honest, that would be fine. The positioning is a little bit weird. Oh god, not this again. Oh, I hate that. You would think that I'm doing stupid shit to make it go up and down like that, but I'm just dragging. And it picks like a random direction to go. Ah! Let go. The bottom one's a little bit easier. Okay. Nope. No, I take it back. Bottom one does weird shit too. Okay. So I think because it's got descender space down here, it's skewing up a little bit. If I just bring it down a little to center it. With the assumption that we'll have all caps. And I could do no, that's a little bit screwy. Let me see if well, there's a pivot on the Y as well. Let's do the pivot at 0. See what that does. Seems kind of off. Seems like more off. One. Like here it's a little bit under the middle. Here it's about centered. Here it's a little bit over. Here it's more over. Guess there's something here. I really do want it to be centered though. What's this? Cap line, midline. Baseline. Let me try that. I'll play with those options. They seem to be affecting things, so. It's not bad. That's better than the first one. Okay, so that was a good thing to play with. I would be satisfied with that one. let's try midline, and then I will recenter. And let's set the width up higher. Okay, this might be it right here. It kind of makes sense. Yeah. Okay, midline. So it's basically saying when we scale the text up or down, what's the center point on the Y scale or the line that we use as the relative point to scale from. I don't think I'm expressing it right, but anyways, the center line, that's the way to go. Okay. I probably want to make a copy of this so I can tweak it specific to that. But before I do that, let's go back to my code, get the rect transform. We'll end up setting width to character count or square count. Oh, come on. Then I Alt Tab or Command Tab over. Oh, it's faster now. That's good. How do I set the width? Because I just tried it. Let me try it again. Maybe it's got to be width. Yeah. All right. Is it part of the rect? That's irritating when there's something I see in the inspector and it doesn't have an obvious property that corresponds to it in the documentation. Rect, transform, unity, how to set width. Now you're fucking annoying me because there is no UI canvas in my situation. There's none. But I guess maybe I have the component already of the rect transform, so maybe size delta is what I want. Let me just try that. You don't like that. So what this guy said is not true. Okay. This is way back in 2013 too. See, set size with current anchors. Okay, let's try that. Like that. Square cam. Let's try that. Okay, then we go back up to floor text. And we say 2, nice. 3, nice. 4, nice. And let's see, I'll set it down to 2, which looks pretty good to me. Or even 3. 3, and we will move it over 1. Ah, not like that. Like that. Okay. I'm hitting play just to see what it looks like when I walk around it. You know, I liked having the name M spelt on this thing, but there's so much text in this game, all over the place. Like, maybe I'm better like making a symbol that goes there. Also, at some point, I think it got kind of ugly. I'm not sure what happened. Okay. So I got some cosmetic stuff to do on this. So I feel like I should make a copy of the font, play with it a little bit. I'm just thinking, like, what are the changes I want to make? Do I want it, for example, to have a lit shader instead of unlit? Let's go back to the project. Let's look at Charlie. Let's make a duplicate of this. And we're going to rename it. Floor text. Oh, there's like some other settings there too I could use. Yeah, some of them are actually pretty good. Okay, so then this guy, I want it to be floor text. Nice, okay. So far I'm not seeing much glow here. Oh, there we go. So this is how I can do the gleam. I can just have it kind of go from 0 to whatever, just for a moment. Or a flash. Don't think I want that. Maybe I do. Okay, bevel. Don't want bevel. What? I can't. Okay, no bevel. Local lighting. Just so I can see what my lighting is like, let me move the subtitles. Let me move it down here. So far that doesn't look like it's actually lighting anything, but let's keep playing with it. This doesn't seem to be affected by the scene lighting at all. I think that's why they call it local lighting, which is fine. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get using Text Mesh Pro. I don't think I'm going to get like a scene lighting with it. So get this whole thing here. Let me try. See what happens if I do standard. Just remember, Text Mesh Pro distance field. Okay, there. Now I'm fucked. Okay, let's see. Text Mesh Pro. Bitmap. Interesting. Maybe I should look at the documentation for this. Alright, here's the one I started with. Alright. Text Mesh Pro Scene Lighting. I should also check and see what this looks like with a game view instead of. Okay. I'm looking for this lit area to look different than the shaded area. I'm not sure that's the exact effect I want, but not a bad idea to have like a more subtle black thing on the floor until it gleams. Like maybe I can get that effect when you. And also, if I can have it look like that, it's not gonna bother me as much when there's other text like the level intro that's really bright and foregroundish. I don't mind this. I mean, that's just a side effect of the particular shader I chose, but I think I could do that with the normal distance. So there's distance field, surface. I do not understand the difference. Let's see, let's put it back on distance. This also making me think about my blocks and how there's some text on them. How I might be better served to just have my own texture that is applied instead of using Text Mesh Pro for it. Because then in that case I could get scene lighting and the blocks would look a little more like things in the game world instead of a combination of UI text and 3D geometry. They don't look bad now. Probably there's a good argument for keeping the clarity on them high. All right. Trick I learned from Cicada. If he ever comes back on, that'd be awesome. But while he was here, he gave me many gifts of knowledge. Alright, so I put this there, and that means that if I am back on the scene, and I happen to click this guy, it's going to pick the top level object instead of the one underneath of it. Alright, put this back where it's probably going to be. Underlay, underlay, underlay. Let's have a black underlay. Let's I'm trying to get that same dispersed look as I saw with the other shader. I guess it's okay. It's like a drop shadow, but it doesn't have a way to expand out from underneath. Inner. Normal. Feels like I want something to scale that up, but I'm not going to get it. Or I should say I'll have a maximum to it. It's like better than nothing, I guess. Put this at 0. Let's put this at 0. Okay, that's kind of what I wanted. Wouldn't mind it being a little more pronounced, but it's not bad. Turn that off. Glow. Later on I could do this. That's not bad. I like that actually. Let's have the interior be a little darker. I can also do a texture on it if I want. Let me try that. Yeah, back to none. Alright, so it's all that. There's the glow. This is the outline. It's the color. So maybe that's starting. And I can take the glow and I can say we will let it gleam here and there. I'm picturing, okay, we can do a flash, kind of like, just let you know it's there. That can be controlled by the level controller. We can say something like, 1 second after the level finishes displaying and is loaded, we'll just flash it once. And then if you walk closer to it, wouldn't mind just maybe just kind of gradually bringing it up a little bit. Just to show you that your actions are affecting it. It's interactive. Let's experiment with some other colors. Okay. If you step on it, it'll fire an event. And that event could say, hide it. I kind of like the idea of hiding and showing being accomplished by having the text fly up behind the camera or back down. Okay, so I want to build like a little state machine for these things so it looks good. Let me take this and put it someplace where it's lighter, just to see if I still feel good about it in a different location. And there it looks about how I want it to be. Someplace else, maybe out here, this is medium lighting. It's not bad. I'm good with that too. I mean, this works. If I really want to, I can insist upon certain lighting in the level that makes it look good. I don't really need to tweak with this. At worst case, I can create a separate font, like there could be a light font and a dark font for different kinds of lighting combinations. And floor text, where are you at? me do my little test of putting a really long German word there. Subtitles, draußen, okay. That works too. Double width works. If I ever find a word that has a localization that just, it's not legible, it's too long, I can increase the message square count. I can say we're going to do 4 instead of 3. No problem. About 5. I can do 5. Yeah. Okay. But I think that works. This whole state machine thing, though. Is it the right order to do it in to make that next? Also, no, it's got a little bump there to bring it up above the floor. That's good. That's the same height I figured out before was good. Okay. I've got a little more time on the clock. My brain is tired. I don't want to bite off more than I can chew. What do I want to do next? I think I will make one more class that will control the state between some of the different effects, and then I'll make it so that I can trigger it inside of the editor while I have the game mode playing, and then I'll be able to see how the different states work, but it won't be hooked up yet to the level logic and all the events and stuff that I wanted to do. Then that'll probably be a good use of the rest of the session. Also, what is the null reference? I think that's just the compiler. I can just get rid of, I mean, not a compiler, but like if I make a build and it's maybe I'm wrong. Okay, let's clear that. Now it works. Okay. Turn off the visualization. Yeah, I think it was a build error. Meaning that it resets some of the state that's in the object when I do a build, and then it has editor code that fails because of that. Not worth really troubleshooting. Okay. So, next. Save. Also, thumbnail cam. I'll just move my position for the thumbnail cam so it doesn't have subtitles in it. And that should suffice. Or I can have subtitles that this thing pop up. Okay, let's do it this way. Yeah, alright, just say public bool start visible. Cool. All right, so sometimes I'm tempted to put everything in one class, but discovery is meant to be just for setting up the object in the editor and giving enough information for it to be brought into the logical data structures when the scene is in play mode. So if I want to have some code that sets the state of the subtitle or the floor text to different things, then I want a different class for that. So I'll do that. Thankfully, there's not really much overlap between these. let's see. Hidden. Normal. Hidden to normal. Just thinking about all the possible transitions. It's possible it could be multiple transitions happening at the same time. That's the issue. Okay, let's do it this way. Show Ween. Sean. Dean. Okay. Okay. Visibility state. Okay, that's one. The other one is flashing. So something could be hiding or showing. Okay, the other one's okay. Then there's, let's see, there's a float, target, target glow, God, there's a lot here. Alright, so there's a flash, there's a glow level, flash and glow are accomplished with the same thing. I guess one thing I can be sure about is the visibility state can be completely unrelated to the stuff about glowing and flashing. Because the visibility state, I'm going to accomplish that by using the y-axis. Okay. All right, let's say there's a baseline glow based on distance from player transform. Okay, let's see. Let's not do a whole friggin' state machine. Let's just say bool. Let's see, public bool is flashing. Flow flash start time. Flash duration equals I don't know. Start with 1 second. Okay, then we do oh, actually, let's do it while it's playing too. Okay, plug equals true. This needs to be outside of that. Oh, false. Okay, so in here, Okay. Goddamn hiccups. Alright, I might do like one thing at a time. Don't need to write all the animation code for all these things right away. So let's see. Update glow. We will pass in. Now let's do update for transitions. Oh, goddamn hiccups. Huh. Fuck, man, those hiccups are really annoying me. Alright. You know what? I'm going to stop the stream here. I'm probably going to do some more work, but I just kind of have an urge to work off stream for a little bit. So if anyone happens to be hanging out, lurking there, hey, how you doing? I'm going to stop the stream right here. I will be back tomorrow. Probably without hiccups. Probably. Stopping the stream now.